Hey everyone. I recently took a swing at the so-called modern day feminists, explaining why I don't think they're actually feminist at all. And if you haven't seen episode 8 of Not on Record Podcast, that's a podcast I do with criminal lawyer Joseph Neuberger, then I'm going to put the link below and you got to go check it out. Not just for that, but for a bunch of really important moments that also get into what we've been doing, breaking down the anatomy of false accusations by talking about actual cases that we've worked on together that went to trial. So in this episode, we talk about 2 recent acquittals of very young men and the increasing number of cases that involve embarrassment as a key motivating factor.
And then, because something happens that's embarrassing to the person, that's a big motive that I've seen a lot is embarrassment. But for whatever
But
reason,
expand on that a bit, because we'll talk about this in a moment. But you raised a really good point when we were sort of going over this about, how embarrassment is somehow a motivation to make an allegation. And it's like, to me, it was like, I don't understand that, but you're right.
And some obvious truths about sex.
and how easy it is to become embarrassed when you're engaged in sexual activity, because
Right.
all kinds of things can happen, right?
Yeah.
And
That's so right.
And we want to draw attention to the absurdity of university consent training, especially in regards to how it robs women of their own agency in their decision making.
If a person drinks and becomes intoxicated, you can't consent.
right, and they don't say like how drunk they are, but I mean the general idea is you get a get out of embarrassment free card if you've had 2 drinks.
Right, but
Right.
this is really crucial for everybody to understand and be terrified about.
And importantly, miseducation on campus about what level of intoxication would meet a legal incapacity to consent in terms of an actual sexual assault accusation, because people think it's much, much lower than the actual bar of incapacity is.
This is the training. If somebody is drinking, they are not able to consent. So the concept,
If they're female.
female,
Right.
correct. So the concept is consuming alcohol means you are not capable of consenting, which is crazy.
Buzzkill.
Totally.
Cock blocking.
That's going to get bleeped. Thank God you're bleeped and I'm not.
Yes, I did call them cock blocking bastards.
Cock blocking.
So, like episode 7 before this, and in this case, as I mentioned before, we break the case down in detail to show how the accusation evolved and the evidence that the complainant was not being truthful.
Do you know the most intriguing issue about her memory to me? I like using the word intriguing for, you're a liar. But no, it's so intriguing to me that her memory disappears precisely at the moment where she was visibly, like she was witnessed kissing him. She loses her memory like about 15 minutes prior to that. For no good reason.
Again,
She even says, I didn't even drink that much, that I don't know why I have no memory.
Yeah.
But I do remember that I had this text message, and so I have no memory of this text message with my friend. And so I must have lost my memory at that point, 15 minutes prior to when she
So
was
in the
seen
evidence,
making out with him.
the complainant, under cross-examination, could not remember these very important points. Yet there's objective evidence about what was going on. So when she's, for example, making out with our client on the couch, taking him up to a bedroom, going from another bedroom to another bedroom,
Following him around the house.
following him around the house. Miraculously, she has no memory of that. But she remembers other things that seem to be a violation of her body integrity. Like,
It's a
I
convenient
apologize
memory
to
loss.
the viewers if you think we're a little disjointed or I'm too upset about this, but this is another example of a wrongful accusation and how people absolutely manipulate their own evidence to fit their own narrative to get somebody convicted. And I don't know why they do that. I don't know why it's so important in this day and age to vilify and convict somebody when you're responsible for your own actions and you don't like it, and the answer has to be a sexual assault on somebody else.
You should be proud to be responsible for your own actions, no matter how embarrassing they are. That's what life's about. You make mistakes, you learn from them, and then you get wiser and better.
Right.
So you got to go watch the full episode to get all the fascinating details. And also, I want to let you know that we're taking email questions from our viewers at NotOnRecordPodcast@gmail.com. So you can send us your questions. In episode 8, we actually dealt with an email question about the Bill Cosby appeal. So I'm sure a bunch of people have an interest in that. So I'll put all the links below. Please subscribe because the next episode coming out is equally as fun and equally as great. See you later.